Welcome back, everyone, to Football Focus SG podcast with myself, Faiz, and Mr. JB. And as you guys can see on the screen here, we are not really doing a podcast at the moment. We're doing a FM rebuild between myself and Mr. JB. I'll be taking the Arsenal team. Mr. JB is taking the Manchester United team. Mr. JB, how are you doing today?
Yep, I'm all good. And what about you? How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, of course. I feel great when it comes to when it comes to football stuff. I'm always up for it. But yeah, so
Yep,
this
ever
is
ready.
ever ready. Yeah, so this is a FM rebuild. So let me go through a bit of a brief. What is this FM rebuild? Basically, if anyone watches some of the rebuild challenge by some football manager contents all around, of YouTube, I follow this rebuild template is from Omega Look Gaming on YouTube. So if you guys want to see, you can check that out as well. So we're currently doing a rebuild where we do a simulation of my version of my team versus Mr. JB's version of his team, and we'll battle each other out to see who can get the bragging rights in terms of the league, cup tournaments, season by season base. So let's go through one by one. Again, I am taking Arsenal. Mr. JB is taking Manchester United. Uh, Maybe before we get into more, Mr. JB, it's been a long time since we have seen a Man United versus Arsenal in a league table race rivalry. How can you see our FM rebuild to happen? Like, will it relive like the good old days of Wenger versus Ferguson time? Or are we just gonna be second fiddle to the current Man City Liverpool squad standard that they're in?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, you are right. I mean, barely like probably 10 years ago or slightly more than 10, 15 years ago, probably. Yeah, Manchester United and Arsenal are always the top two. I mean, one of the better teams in England. But of course, football being football,
Yeah.
other teams are improving as well. Gotta give them credit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely see, especially in this new build that you're doing and the current football manager game and how it works. I think it won't be a two-horse race anymore. I think you'll definitely see a quite a healthy mix. And looking at the table right now, I'm not sure if the listeners can see it, but I see Luton Town at sixth place at the moment. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting build and to see how the season goes. Yeah.
It is. It is going to be interesting. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of a spoiler. People can see the league table there, but we're going to dive in right at the moment. But how do we know who's going to have a better season between myself and Mr. JB? Here are the point system rule made. And again, this is inspired and made by Omega Luke. So I'm just following his template, and we just want to try out to see if we can fit the mold as well of his challenge. So how does the Reboot Challenge work? I'll try to put the point system into the comments or description, or I'll put it up in the screen at some point. You guys can go check it out. So we will get 1 point for a higher league finish. So any one of us who have a higher league finish above each other, that's immediate 1 point. 1 point for a victory over each other in the fixtures, including cup matches. So meaning, of course, myself, Arsenal, and Man United, Mr. JB, we're gonna face each other twice in the league. So if we win each other at least once, or maybe you win both home and away, you get a point each. So yeah, if you win home and away, that's 2 points. And then also we have cup matches where basically if we have ever come across a cup tournament like FA Cup, maybe Champions League, or maybe whichever tournament it may be, Carabao maybe, we'll get a point as well. 2 points for domestic cup win, meaning the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup that mentioned earlier. 3 points for domestic league title win, which is the EPL itself. 4 points for the Europa or Conference League win, which is the second fiddle of the Champions League, and then 6 points for the Champions League win itself. So there's a point system out there. Now, Mr. JB, let's dive in into you know what? Let's dive in into my team first. All right. Let's have a look at my signings that we have made for our rebuild.
Yeah.
So
All right.
I've made a couple of signings. Uh, Basically, again, it's one of those cases where I couldn't sign anyone due to because a lot of the money was being taken out by the real life transfers like Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Timber. Those are the real life transfers that Arsenal have made. And meanwhile, mine, it's basically I have to sell some players in order to get what I want. So let's start out with the transfer first. So we have Mohamed El Nani, which I have sold. If you notice the date, both Cedric and El Nani actually is both on the 1st September, which is a deadline day itself, actually. So it's like 5.25 mil
Wow.
to AS
Wow.
Roma and Cedric
Yeah.
Suarez to Leicester for 3.4 mil. Deadline day transfer itself. So now let's go through the couple of new signings that I've made. So starting off, we have this player, Nadim Amiri. Well, I signed him actually to be just more of a squad rotation player because as you can see, he's quite a utility squad player. He can play most of the positions. Decent mental attributes, quite okay with the physical and technical. Not the best, of course. Kind of like one-to-one exchange with El Neni, I guess, with Amiri. But maybe if you compare him and El Neni, they're both. I'm not sure how old is El Neni. Is El Neni older? Yeah, he's 31. So I just get a younger version of El Neni in the sense. It's 26, still may have
Yeah.
room for improvement,
Yeah.
but as you can see, the arrow going down, may not. But yeah. Then I
Yeah.
made a couple of loan signings, which is Yusufa Mukoko, all the way from Dortmund, an 18-year-old prodigy, hoping that maybe we can sign this guy in the future. But again, this is more for rotation in case Saka or Martinelli or Gabriel Jesus, who is injury prone, then the youngster could be able to join in. Also, another loan, which is, I cannot pronounce his first name really. I believe this is Eli Moriba. Eli Moriba. I just call him Moriba. Again, one of those youngsters from RB Leipzig, 20-year-old Guinean player, great mental attribute and good potential. Who knows? Could be my future player as well in the coming season. And then the final one is just a well, again, like I said, the story is I sold two players on deadline transfer day, and I signed this guy with 1 hour left remaining, Steven El Sharawi. He was apparently
Yeah.
transfer listed. He was transfer listed from Roma, actually. So transfer listed is
All right.
easy. It's the easiest way you can make. They set the target for you to pay that amount, and I just have to pay that
Mm-hmm.
amount. That's it. So of course, current is
Okay.
4.5, potential cost is 6.5, again, due to the lack of money I have. But Steven Asharawi is just a last minute addition. Again, same thing, rotation wise. His age, not the best. But I've always been a fan of El Sharawi at some point in my FM career. But again, it's more of a rotation, and I'm quite excited to actually having Steven El Sharawi in the Premier League. So uh as a rival,
I bet.
Mr. T, what do you think of my signing so far?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, not so bad. I mean, considering Arsenal just signed, like what you said, based on the real life signings as well, are pretty decent.
Yeah.
So I guess your signing is pretty decent. Although yes, I'm a bit surprised you kind of sell off El Nani, but well, you did mention about the age factor and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I would say pretty alright. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, age will be a factor. So I got a bit of young, a bit of, well, in the middle of the road, 26-year-old here, and, well, a, a 30-year-old, but it's more for the current season kind of situation. So, all right. So, with that signings and all I've made, let's check on my schedule real quick. This is how my result has been. We're not going to look at the friendlies. Friendlies are fine. But starting off, we lost the Community Shield to Manchester City in a final of penalties. Unfortunately, well, I can't remember who missed the penalty. It's been a while already, actually. But yeah, I think you guys, I'll show you guys a lineup in a while. But this is pretty much how the lineup has been so far. Uh, Again, not losing to Man City was a good thing, but losing by penalties is just, well, what can we do? And then we have a 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest with Kai Havertz double with Martin Odegaard. Another 3-0 back-to-back with Everton, Gabriel Jesus scoring two. And then in a weird universe that we're in, Arsenal beating Manchester City 5-2 with 5 different goal scorers. Sitting pretty well at the moment with my first 3 games. And this is the current tactic that I'm playing at the moment, which is 4-2-3-1 with Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. Now, I would like to use Kai Havertz at some point with well, at some point, maybe Thomas Partey as a rotation or Declan Rice, but at the moment, I think this is quite okay looking at my results. So I'm gonna stick to it. Uh, and of course, for the goalkeeper shenanigans, everyone talking about David Raya or Ramsdale. I put Ramsdale. It's not that I choose, but apparently the assistant decided to pick Ramsdale. So I stick with Ramsdale for now. And yeah, that is my team and my results so far. Um, Impressed with the results, Mr. JV?
Well, I mean, if I'm not playing the game, then yeah, I'll probably say yes. But because I am in the same tournament as you, so I'm not gonna say I'm impressed by it. Of course not. I mean, yeah, I mean, pretty decent, but yes, I'm most surprised by the 5-2 result. Not sure if Haaland is even playing on that one. So
Oh,
yeah,
he
but
did. I'm pretty
I
sure he
must
did.
say, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I must say, I mean, looking at the score line and 9 points out of 3 games, that is definitely uh, a dream start for any team, actually. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, true. All right. Moving on to your team, Mr. JB. Now you can take the the stage here of let's talk about your transfers real quick. Well, we tried to sell as well any players if possible, but unfortunately there wasn't anyone that's able to try to sell because I believe you have a few players in your transfer list. Let's talk about your transfer list real quick. Yeah, so share with us
Yeah.
the players that you wanted to sell with a couple of unhappy player on the list here.
Yeah, basically, I mean, the players I wanted to sell, of course, I'm trying to follow as much as possible as the real life one.
Yeah.
So obviously, the one of the players that I wanted to sell is fortunately not much luck there. Uh, yeah, and then who else I wanted to? I believe it's Rafael
Yeah,
Varane, right?
so you have Rafael Varane in your transfer list. As you can see, he's unhappy being transfer listed. We have
Mhm.
Christian Eriksen being transfer listed,
Yep,
but
yep,
he's all right. He doesn't complain anything. Scott McTominay is transfer listed the moment we start the game, actually. So
yep,
we never
yep.
even put him
That's
there.
right.
Donny van de Beek also, same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Transfer listed before we even start the
Yep,
game.
that's right.
But the major one that I'm curious here is Jadon Sancho. Of course, understandably, like what you said, you're trying to follow according to real life. Eric Ten Hag does not want to use
That's
Jadon
right.
Sancho ever since the incident happened. But
Yep.
again, like coming from a Man United fan, would you like to see him back at some point playing for Man United, or do you think like it's done for Jadon Sancho now in real life?
Uh, I mean, I mean, for Jadon Sancho in real life, I think it's tough for him to come back, really.
Oh,
Uh, because of the way that the things have become, you know.
yeah,
I don't think there's any repair unless Ten Hag were to leave or something like that, which I don't think so.
yeah.
And I mean, and of course, I mean, just talking about real life, I think there's also some rumors about perhaps we may take back Greenwood. I'm not too sure.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
just some rumors here and there. So I mean, of course, at the end of the day, Sancho is a great player on his day, but perhaps the league or perhaps Man United isn't the team for him.
Mm.
So yeah. So basically, that's one reasons why I tried to put him on the transfer list. As for Scott McTominay and Ericsson, I feel like Ericsson, yeah, he's just a rotational backup player. That's how I see him. Uh, as for Scott McTominay, I feel he's basically is only like what 10 now.
Um, yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and also Van de Beek as well, who in real life is actually on loan at the moment. So
yeah.
yeah, basically just trying to get some money out. Yep.
Mm.
I'm not sure. Did I put Martial as well? I think I did, right?
No, you didn't put Martial, but Martial is in support
Okay,
of
okay.
Varane as a French teammate that
Right.
he's unhappy with you for trying to sell Varane as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so basically, speaking about Varane, yeah, I think I Varane on transfer listed just to make some bucks, because he's quite decent, his value.
Yeah, I mean,
So
for 30
perhaps
years
I
old,
could make
I'm
some.
pretty sure that, yeah, there's got to be some, someone that's probably want to buy him.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's more of just getting funds and yeah.
All right.
Yep. So far those are the transfer listed ones.
Yeah, those are the listed, and now comes the ins. Well, at the moment, you only have one in at the moment with two future transfers.
Yep.
Let's talk about the future transfer first because they're not really here yet, but they are soon. So let's start off with Chan Uzen, a 17-year-old
Mm-hmm.
German, all the way from Nuremberg,
Yep.
under 19, 17 year
That's
old.
right.
Amazing stat actually for technical and mental and physical for a 17-year-old again. Where do you find this guy and
Yeah.
what reason
Uh,
that you actually decided to get him for the future?
well, just looking back, right? I mean, yeah. I mean, Germany as a nation, as a football nation at the moment, isn't looking too good. Uh, like currently in real life. But one thing you can never write them off is their midfield, right? They already have decent midfield.
Yeah.
So this guy is one of those, midfielders that I feel that, hey, might turn out good or may not turn out good, but it's worth a shot. He's only 17.
Yeah.
Uh, and I mean, you can see he's got some flair in there. Also, pretty decent. I mean, for his age, I find it all right. So yeah, and also to be honest, because of the funds isn't too much, so I have to settle with fairly unknowns. Uh, for the price that
Mhm.
I'm signing. So yeah, so I just find that he's probably a good backup for if let's say I were to sell Ericsson and McTominay, for example.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I
yeah,
think at the moment, like I think you can see as well at the form below here, he has played 3 matches, 1 goal, 3 assists. That is actually quite a
yeah,
very good rating already so far. But he is joining
yep,
you
that's right.
in the mid-season, January. Are you planning to use him in your first 11 though?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it really depends uh how how the season will go. But yes, definitely, I'll definitely give him quite a play time before slowly integrating him to the first 11.
All right. Okay, so now moving on. I mean, of course, we are signing players for the future as well. If you guys are wondering, we're not doing this just a 1 season thing. We're doing this for the next 5 seasons. So basically, there'll be 5 different episodes, 1 season per episode. This is our first season and first episode of it. And then subsequently, then we can see the players that we sign that like example, Mr. JB here signing a young player. We get to see how he's developing under Mr. JB and Man United. Who knows? He might be actual world class Ballon d'Or type. He might have discovered a gem that we may not know. That's the whole fun part of it. Now, the next future transfer, unfortunately, he's only joining you in the next season due to his current loan, I believe. But it's a man named Martin Satriano, who is actually an Inter Milan player, but currently on loan uh, to Brest in France. Breeze, yeah. Uh, looks pretty decent also at the moment for that team. He's like, look at that, 2 goals in 3 appearances for them on loan. What was the reason that you decided to try and get him as well for the future? Then 22-year-old Uruguayan.
Yeah, again, I just look at it from a real life perspective. Uruguayans are known for their strikers,
Yeah,
uh, for scoring, right? I
yeah,
mean, even the most recent one is probably Darwin Nunes, right?
yeah.
Who's doing who's doing
And the
not too
last
bad. You know what I'm
Uruguayan
saying?
for Man United was Diego Forlan, right?
Yeah, yeah, and also let's not forget Edinson Cavani as well,
Oh, Cavani,
who
yes.
did pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also yeah, so I mean it's quite straightforward. When I look at Uruguay, and I'm like probably a good decent striker. So yeah, and
Are
also at
you
the same
planning
time
to partner
because
him with
strikers is
Hoyland, or is it like just
yeah
a backup?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That's the whole point, because the striker is pretty thin at the moment in my striking department. So, Martial might be going out as well. Uh, that I'm probably seeing him out like at least next season.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
why to sign this guy, 22-year-old, uh, uh, pretty decent stats as well
Mm-hmm.
for his age. I think if I'm not wrong, I bought him for quite cheap. I think only 4 million based on
Yeah,
my
I
budget.
think
And
I think it's only 4 million and Chanuzen for 2 million, so that's
yeah,
6 million there. That's pretty much all your transfer that you
yeah,
play with actually.
that's right. Yeah. So I feel like yeah, it's not too bad of a signing, and I think he already scored like 3 goals so far. So
Yeah,
yeah, pretty decent.
definitely one for the next season, which probably in our next episode for the second season rebuild should stick around. And the current player that is in your team that you managed to sign is a lone player, Brahim Diaz from Real Madrid. Now, okay, I
Yep.
understand this is a player that's definitely not in your shortlist at some point. But for a 24-year-old Moroccan with this kind of stats and the players that you're trying to offload, which is Sancho and possibly future Martial and all that, are you happy with this signing?
Yeah, of course, for sure. I mean, even though it's a loan move, I hope that if he starts showing up more enough, I wouldn't mind securing, a permanent sign for this guy. I
Yeah,
mean, he's pretty decent, a good covering for, if I were to offload Sancho, because on the right, I might probably be left with Anthony and probably Garnacho probably.
yeah,
So yeah, so it'd be nice to have that sort of mix, in case of injuries and all that, and a good balance on rotation, looking at the number of matches coming up. So yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with his loan deal.
yeah. I mean, looking at the stats at the moment, I mean, Real Madrid signed him from Man City for 12 million. And then after that, they have no plans of using him really much and loaned to AC Milan 3 seasons in a row with the highest score of 6 goals in one season. Now with Man United so far, 2 matches, no goals or assists yet because we're gonna go into your schedule in a while. But uh, do you see him as a player that's gonna excel more in the Premier League because he has played in Man City Academy?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the experience are there, but again, we all know there are some players who in the academies from the Premier League, but sometimes they shine, when they go abroad. So it really depends. It really depends. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's check out your schedule real quick. We have your first game, which is against West Ham, a 1-0 win. And this is where, like I said, we will talk about Brahim Diaz. He got injured on his debut immediately. So obviously he couldn't play the whole match here. And then subsequently, your next match, you had a 1-0 draw with Spurs, where you were actually doing well, except that there was a penalty given away. Can't remember by who again, but yeah, it was unfortunate, but it's 1-0, it's something. And again, just like Arsenal winning Man City in the parallel universe, we have Man United trashing Liverpool 4-0 in Old Trafford, thanks to Jadon Sancho 2 goals, Bruno Fernandes, and Anthony Martial. And yeah, so happy with your your current results that you're going through with the current formation that you went through?
Yeah, I mean, result-wise, of course, I'm glad so far. Although looking at the goal scorers, I'm not so glad because these are some of the players that I'm looking to offload. So
Yeah. Martial
then
scoring
again,
3 goals in
but
three
then
games. So
yeah, I mean that's quite impressive stat. But then again, a season is a marathon, not a sprint, and we're only talking about the first 3 games, so still early days. But I mean, to get a win, against a potential favorite like and rival like Liverpool is positive. Although, yeah, I'm quite disappointed that we got a draw against Spurs, but it is what it is. Yeah.
yeah, all right. Let's talk through your tactics real quick. You went with 4-3-3, 4-3-3.
Yep.
With of course,
That's right.
actually, I know you're trying to offload Sancho, which I tried to put Brahim Diaz in his position, but Sancho had to play because Brahim Diaz was injured. Anthony was injured also at some
Yeah.
point. So you
Correct.
had a pretty thin squad, honestly. We've Garnacho as well injured, actually. Yeah, so that's why you don't see Garnacho at all. So in the first few, Hoyland just came back from injury, so now only he can start to play. He has yet to play a match yet. So currently up front was Martial. That's why he's been scoring actually, despite that. And actually for Varane, I've actually tried to put Lindelof all the way, but Lindelof for some reason isn't performing too well as well, I would say. But this is the
All right.
current
Yeah.
team that the assistant has chosen. Why do you choose this formation? Playing fluid counter attack as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, want to play on a counter just like how Ten Hag would have liked, the pressing and the counter attack to be
Yeah.
smooth. But in order to have that, you need to have a stable midfield. So
Yeah.
which is why I decided on the triangle midfield there with one DM
Yeah.
and
It's a
two
very good
center mid.
triangle. Yeah.
Yep. So this would enable a strong uh, core, a strong balance,
Yeah.
so that when the counter starts, at least we have two midfielders in the center to try and deliver to the wings and then probably to Martial.
Mm. Yeah. I think at the moment, your midfield trio is doing very well, especially Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount seems to be, look at that, equal average rating as well. They're playing really good side by side.
Yeah,
Casemiro, I guess, at
yeah, that's
times
good.
I'll bring in Sofia Amrabat to replace whenever it's needed.
Yeah.
Hoyland finally gets to play. I'm not sure whether do you want Hoyland to be up front now rather than Martial. I'll leave it up to you on that one.
Hmm.
um, yeah. So this is the current team that we both have put up. Now let's take a look at the standings. Now, well, just like old times, Arsenal and Man United, top two. Arsene Wenger versus Sir Alex Ferguson one more time. But of course, I think so far I'm the only one, yes, with a perfect 100% record of 3 wins, 3 games. The rest has kind of have a draw or loss along the way. Biggest surprise so far, Man City winning 1-0 Newcastle, drawing with
Yeah.
Sheffield United before losing to Arsenal 5-2. Liverpool losing to Man United 4-0, of course, but winning Spurs and Forest. Luton up in front, winning Burnley and Brighton, losing to Newcastle. Wolves up front, with winning Brighton
Yeah.
and Crystal Palace, drawing with Bournemouth. This is such a wacky table.
Hmm.
And of course, Everton being 10 points deducted, even though they have won one and draw one. But Brighton and West Ham, these two are the more surprising one to us here. But
Yeah.
right now, let me ask you, with your current squad that you make and the tactics, formations, looking at your schedule, where can you see your team? What is your target for this season?
My target is definitely top four.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I mean, because looking at the other teams, like Liverpool and probably City will still be coming back strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like top four would be quite realistic. Although, yeah, looking at this current table now, it does looks like a bit strange. But yeah,
It
I guess
is.
I
It's
guess
a
it can
very
go.
parallel
Yeah,
universe here we're in.
yep, yep. I mean, it can go either way. I mean, you just take a look at the top scorer over there. It's from Luton Town,
Yeah.
Jacob Brown 4 goals. So
Yeah.
yep,
I mean,
interesting, interesting.
exactly. We have Gabriel Jesus with Martial with 3 goals so far. Martin Odegaard with the top assist with 4. Rashford with top assist with 3. Trossard with 2. Average rating, Mo Salah is doing really well. Of course, it's Mo Salah at the end of the day. And yeah, it's still early days.
Yeah,
So this is where we're gonna cut all the way to the end of the season. We're gonna simulate this, and then we're gonna look back and see how our team goes. Comment down below what you guys think, or who do you think is gonna win this first season rebuild, or who do you guys support? Let us know as well about our signings. Is our signings great? Is our tactics poor? Anything you guys want to comment, let us know, and we'll see you in the end of the season. We are back from the simulation of this FM rebuild season 1, and we get to see who's gonna win. As you guys can see, I think I've changed my clothes based on from the first recording of the simulation, and now here we are gonna record to see well who won in this first season rebuild, because we have another 4 more seasons that we're gonna try and improve, but this is our first season. Let's get it on in the Premier League. Bam. Oh, there we go. Manchester United, Mr. JV Man United is 6th and Arsenal with 4th. Tottenham Hotspur is 2nd. Of course, Man City winning the league. But wow,
Man,
what did you make of the table?
man. I mean, the first thing you showed me this, I was like, is this the current Premier League table, like live, or is it the game? Because it looks the same. But
I
yeah,
mean, yeah, it,
take a look at the point gap, man. It's crazy.
it is. It is. I mean, 14-point gaps between you and me, 4th and 6th. 14-point gaps. That is a lot. But Man City running away the whole thing. But here's the one thing that probably I think you should take a look at, Mr. JB, as well. You have the same number of loss. With me, you have a lot of draws in your match, if you ever notice.
Yep, because looking at the fixture and results tab over there, I think the last game of the season, Man United draw 1-1.
Oh, yeah,
And then
well,
before that, draw 2-2. And then before that, draw 3-3. Yeah, Faiz, you just can you just hover at my team name? Like can you just go to
yeah,
the table again just now? Can you move the cursor there?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, look at that. Even the last game of the season is a 1-all draw, so that ain't great, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're actually playing in a point system.
Yep.
Like I said, this is based on Omega Look kind of standard. We are just testing out and trying as well. We're inspired to try it. Where I get the first point for being on top of you, Mr. JB, finishing 4th over 6. But now, did we win against each other? Let's see. Mr. JB, yes, you have lost to Arsenal 4-1 to Arsenal. That
Mm-hmm.
is that
Mm-hmm.
is quite a defeat there. And did I lose to you? Oh, I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did lose to you 1-0.
Mm-hmm.
So a
That's right.
point each. So basically, I got 2 points. You have 1 point. Before we go look at the other competitions, let's look at the stats real quick. As you guys can see, of course, Erling Haaland, gonna be the top scorer, but Gabriel Jesus and Dominic Calvert-Lewin being 18 goals, second and third. Of course, Bukayo Saka and Martinelli having the most assists. So this is a
Not
bit of a
bad.
surprise for me that despite Arsenal doing well, I did not expect us to be 4th. I'll be honest with you. And 10 losses. I mean, let me look at my loss real quick. Losing to teams such as Luton 3-1, Aston Villa 5-2, Man City 5-0.
Yep.
I lost. That is,
Oh man.
I'm
Newcastle
surprised.
as well.
Yeah. I mean, let's look at your losses as well.
Newcastle, Bournemouth, man.
Okay, to be fair, your losses are very,
Yep,
very low.
Newcastle's
Mostly
in there.
2-1.
Forest.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly 2-1s and 1-0s, 3-2s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
lost
mean
to
the one with
Nottingham
Sheffield was a
Forest.
surprise, 3-1 there.
Yeah, you lost to Nottingham Forest twice
Twice,
this
yeah.
season. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's
But
crazy.
you know what's even more crazy? If you look all the way down below, Mr. JV, Brighton is relegated.
Oh wow, look at that Brighton, man. I mean, you're talking about minus 30 goal difference, man.
That
It's
is That is
tough, man.
surprising, yeah. And Luton is all the way in the mid-table 10. This is one crazy of a league table we have. But at the same time, if you think about it, Mr. JB, in the next season, all these teams in relegated are pretty much available for us to buy in a cheaper rate now, aren't we?
Yeah, that's right.
So,
That's
that's
right.
something that me and Mr.
I
JB are
agree.
probably going to keep an eye on. So we are I believe the profile is Mr. JB with Man United. We're going to look at other competitions and see how you do. 3, 2, 1. And well, unfortunately, I think you're out in the Champions League because in the Champions League, we still have the final Man City versus PSG, quarterfinal knocked out by Chelsea, and third round knocked out by the
Ooh.
relegated team Brighton.
Oh, come on. Third round, come on. That's an insult right there.
Yeah, all right. Okay,
Quarterfinal by Chelsea, not so bad.
yeah, not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, but come on.
But third round by Brighton. Well, but I guess it's better that you lose to them rather than me because if I were to knock you out, I'll get some more points. So at the moment it's 2-1. But let's take a look at Champions
That's
League
true.
real quick of yours. Let's see how did you do in the group stage. I believe I believe we both are in Champions League as well, so we might as well look together here. There we go. So I got second
Yeah.
in the
Group
group
E.
stage. You got first, on top of Barcelona, by the way,
There
with
you
one
go.
loss,
That's
and
right.
that one loss with against Marseille.
That's right.
That is impressive to say the least. Actually,
That's
your
right.
Champions League draw. Meanwhile, Arsenal, Arsenal lost to Union Berlin and Napoli, Parthenon over there, and
Mhm.
okay, so let's look at the I believe the round of 16 where wow, you trash Feyenoord 9-1 on aggregate, 6-0 in the
Man,
second leg.
man,
That is massive there. And
man.
Arsenal
Yeah,
winning
that's
Paris
huge.
Saint-Germain. Do we? No, Arsenal is out in round of 16 by Paris Saint-Germain. My bad. Arsenal is out
Yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
in a 4-2. So we lost 2-0 in
Round
the
of
first
16.
leg, 2-2 in the second leg. So round of 16 we're out, which means you went further than me in this tournament, quarterfinal.
Yeah,
Ooh,
yeah. This is when we lost. So 5-4, man.
5-1, which means in the first leg, you won Paris Saint-Germain 3-0 before losing 5-1 to PSG, losing
Yep,
5-4 in aggregate. That is,
man. That
oh,
is.
that is a capitulation and a half there. Uh, but if you look at
Mhm.
the other teams, semi-final, look at that. We have RB Salzburg and Porto in the semis with PSG and Man City. They have the easy way to the final. If anything, this we could have actually, gotten
Yeah,
further in this. But both me
exactly.
and
Yeah,
you,
we should.
both me and you getting knocked out by PSG. Mine in a round of 16, you got knocked out by PSG in the in a quarterfinal. So okay, of course, FA Cup. You got knocked out by Chelsea. Carabao Cup, you got knocked out by Brighton. So before we move on to my one, let's take a look at your squad real quick and see who has been performing well and who has not. So if you look over here, most number of goals, Rashford and Hoyland, 15 and 15. And Rashford with 14
Not bad.
assists as well,
Not
15
bad.
14. He's having a blinder of a season there.
Man.
But Hoyland,
Yeah,
50 games, 15 goals. You're going to expect a lot more better with 6.86 as an average rating. It's not really that good now,
yeah,
is it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, but again, it's his first season,
Yeah.
so it ain't so bad
Yeah, it is his first season. Of
for him to be
course,
getting same goals as Rashford.
yeah, same
Yeah,
goal as Rashford. Yeah. Your signings, Brahim Diaz, had 5 goals, 8 assists in 46 matches. Obviously not the best of a loan signing, but hey, it is just a loan after all. You are definitely gonna, well, be able
yeah.
to, well, reevaluate your squad. So now let's take
Mm-hmm.
a look at your finance real
That's
quick
right.
and see how much transfer budget you have for the next season. 57 million for the next season. That is impressive. And I think
Not
I can
bad.
see there's a couple of transfers happening here. I'm not sure what's happening. Let's see what's happening here in your transfer market. Um, I'm not sure if there's any agreement at the moment.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
see
no.
any.
No, there's no agreement at the moment. But it looks like your
Mm-hmm.
player is leaving as well. Yeah. Some of your players are leaving. Aaron Bissaka is leaving, apparently.
He's going to Real Madrid. Yeah,
He's joining Real Madrid. That is
yeah,
that is a surprise. But if anything, you do need a better right back. I'll be honest with you. He is good, but he
yeah.
could be better. Johnny Evans is
Yeah,
leaving
J
as well
Evans. Yeah,
to Dynamo Moscow,
yeah,
which, to be fair, again, you're not really going to use him in the next season. Brandon Williams as well leaving. Yeah, I think no major leaving other than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but
yeah.
other than that, I think 57 million. I don't know. Do you have any players in mind already with this amount of money that you're getting?
Yeah, yeah, probably. But I still feel that, I need to start set before I can really spend. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, of course, if you
looking to
manage to
offload more than
offload
the
Jadon
income.
Sancho, if you manage to offload
Yeah,
a couple more players that you want to offload in this
Martial.
league,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm sure you can bring in a
yep,
quality player to rebuild your squad in the next season, which, to be fair,
exactly.
with that amount of
Yeah,
money, kind of scares me. It could be a game changer in the next season. So now let's take a look at Arsenal. Arsenal. Uh, of course, we know we are fourth. How do we do in the other competitions? Oh my God. FA Cup out
Yeah,
in the fifth round by Chelsea. We both get knocked out by two same clubs. PSG in Champions
Chelsea.
League and Chelsea in FA Cup. And quarterfinal out by
Yeah,
Sunderland. So okay, let's take a look at FA Cup real quick. Since we both out by eventual cup winner, Chelsea. Chelsea is the winner of FA Cup here in this
yeah,
round. So fifth
Spurs.
round is where I got eliminated by Chelsea by penalties only. So you know what? It's not really like the worst of things. But you won Everton for 3, and then quarterfinal you lost to Chelsea. I think before that, do we have? Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Okay. We Arsenal winning Leeds. You won Middlesbrough. Arsenal winning Lincoln. You won 7-1 against Forest Green. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
yeah.
And Carabao
Okay,
Cup.
so yeah,
Who won the Carabao Cup? It's Man City. So of course it is. Of course it is Man City. So you got out in the early stage, did you? You got out in the third round by Brighton 1
yeah,
0.
third
Look at
round.
that.
Yep,
That
that's true.
is very
That's right.
disappointing. While Arsenal winning 3-1 over
Yeah,
Southampton, and then Arsenal winning Aston Villa 2-1 before losing to Sunderland of all teams.
man,
Yeah, that is not looking
man.
good at all. But we both definitely, again, we are not like the football manager experts, but we are just football lovers playing this game, of course.
Yeah,
Let's take a look at my squad real quick. So the most goals, highest performing player is Gabriel Jesus, 23 goals in 47 appearances. That's actually really good. Bukayo Saka with 19 goals, 17 assists. That is over 30 plus, coming 40 of goal assist contribution. Martinelli 15 and 17. Kai Havertz 10 and 6. For some reason, he only plays 18 matches. I'm not too sure why though. He has 33 as a sub appearance, which is kind of weird, but okay.
mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I think so far, I mean, looking at my other players with my other signings, none of them are that impactful because, like, I did sign this guy as a loan. Mukoko, he has played 5 subs, did nothing. Nadim Amiri, same thing, nothing as well. Moriba, nothing as well. Stephen El Sharawi, nothing as well. So my signings have not helped me at all for this case, but let's take a look at my transfer budget. 132 million.
What? Come on, man. That
132
is
million.
fair.
I can make some signings for sure in the next season. Now I'm excited for our rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
wow. 132 million. And he actually tells me that next season they're going to give me just 65 million. So that's interesting. I'm not too sure why they actually put next season 65, or unless this is 132 at the moment, before they minus out everything, then I might have only 65 million once the next season, because technically as of now, Champions League has not been played yet, I think. So yeah, because our Champions League is still here,
Yeah.
so this season is still active. I'm not too sure. Gonna have to look again. But at the moment, 132 million, that is something that I would like to enjoy with for sure. So yeah, I think for
Mm-hmm.
sure I could make a couple of signings. And with that, I'm just gonna leave it at the league table here. Let's take a look at one last thing before we wrap things up with this, and that is the positions, the past positions. So let's take a look at me and you. There we go. So Arsenal, we were first for at least 10 matches, 10 to 11 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got dropped off to
Yeah.
second, got up to first, and immediately just fall off. And I'm just in contention for fourth place. Meanwhile, you, the highest was, yes, the second, where we did
Yeah.
our first part, where you won Liverpool 4-0.
Yeah.
And other than that, yeah, your lowest, you went down
Man.
at 11 position.
11 though.
Yeah, with Sheffield United
Man.
winning
Before climbing
3-1.
back to fifth.
Before then climbing back up, yep, to fifth, and then just kind of up and down there before dropping and coming back up. A lot of up and downs there, but your lowest of low.
Man, inconsistency.
That is
Yeah.
inconsistent there, literally. But let me look at your schedule again real quick. I mean, we can see which month probably is where you're probably struggling. So the first few matches that you played, it was really good. Oh wait, this is mine. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is mine. So I played somewhat decent, winning and all that. Uh, I won 7-1 with Wolves. It's one of the big wins I think I probably have this season. Yeah, I think my tough spell is this December, as you can see. It's draw, loss, win, loss,
Yeah,
win, loss, loss. Yeah, that's a very bad month. And then there's a couple of bad results as well. Look at that 5-0, 5-2 back to back. That is unacceptable. So I'm gonna
yeah.
definitely fix on my defense on that. But meanwhile, for you and your schedule, that your past schedule that we've seen, um, you know what?
Yeah.
It's a bit of a mixed bag also, I would say, because immediately after you won 4-0, you lost to Forest, and then
Because I have yeah,
hmm.
yeah, because I have more draws, so
Oh yeah, you have a lot of draws. Yeah, that's true. So your Brighton, Burnley draw, look at that, Newcastle draw. At one point, you have 3 draws in a row in the Premier League before losing at Sheffield United. That doesn't help. And then yeah, there we go. This month of December here does not look good as well. And you have a good straight victories here before before kind of like mixed results again and then a couple of draws at the end. So yeah, I think with that, we can wrap up today's season. Not much points to be given out, but at the moment, I am leading at the moment with being fourth, higher than Mr. JB Man United, and winning Man United in one of the fixture, and Mr. JB with 1 point of winning Arsenal in one of the fixtures. Also, it's 2-1 at the moment, Mr. JB. What do you make of it? It's gonna be a close affair in the next season.
Y- yeah, I hope it will be a close affair. I mean, this is our first season, so
Yeah,
yep, definitely. We're gonna have to do some changes, do some shuffling, do some signings, and
yeah,
yeah, and hopefully the next season will be a better fight. At least, hopefully, one of us, at least, we can get at least one cup. At least one
yeah.
cup.
Yeah. That's what we want. At least one of us to win something that we all can enjoy. But at the same time, it's about bragging rights. Just like reliving the Arsene Wenger versus Sir Alex Ferguson era. It's Arsenal versus Man United, me versus Mr. JB. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode where we will start our season 2 after getting our team to be ready and everything. And we'll do our simulation in the next episode. So hope you guys all stick around. And if you guys do enjoy, don't forget to press like, share, comment down below what you guys think. More importantly, subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.